Okay, most of the time, I don't make mistakes on real estate deals. This is an example of a mistake I made. Now, obviously, looking at the numbers, I made plenty of money off of it and will make plenty of money off of it in the future. But what I'll do is I'll try to get you to understand. I know you're looking at some of the stuff and going, oh my gosh, Joe, you do so much and you make so much off of your real estate deals and all that kind of stuff. But when I make a mistake like this, it bothers me inside. I knew better than to do what I did with this one, but I did it anyway, and I shouldn't have. So let me tell you how this worked out. This is a corner lot right across the street from, there's a church across the side road that it's on the corner of, and then the state highway, which is straight in front of it, right across the street from that is a brand new high school. I bought this for down the road. It was I was going to rezone it commercial, all right? But when I bought it, it had a really nice 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single-wide mobile home with a really nice big covered deck porch on the back of it, and it had a I think it was a 4-car garage. It was either a big 3-car or a 4-car garage on the property also. All right, so I think I bought this one here cash. It was like, I think it was like $65,000. But I was buying it because I knew that it was worth over $300,000 if I just merely rezoned it commercial and then got rid of the stuff on it. Well, I bought it and I put a tenant in the property. Wasn't selling this one now. This was just a rental property. I'm purposely just kept it as a rental property. Never intended to sell this as a residential property. So, but I like my property to make me money while, you know, I'm deciding what direction I'm actually going to go with it. Well, anyhow, I get so daggone busy and I make mistakes. You know, I'm an entrepreneur on serious steroids with the way that my mind works. And if you have any kind of entrepreneurial spirit, you understand there's a million different directions you can go at once. Well, that's what I'm always doing, but I actually implement what it is that, you know, comes to my mind. Well, I'm sorry. The plan was the mobile home there, continued to collect the income, which I was getting like $900 and some a month out of it. I could have also leased out the space in the garage to other people too, and probably made another $300 or $400 a month off of it, which is great cash flow when there's no debt on it. I did write a check for this one. What happened was the income was so good off the property that I didn't have to be in any kind of hurry to do my future plans, which was rezone it commercial, then put a small office building or store on that lot. Well, down the road, a local student came to me and wanted to build a restaurant, and they wanted to build a restaurant on that property. So they wanted to buy the property from me and then go through the process of rezoning it so that they could build their restaurant. The name of the restaurant was going to be the Mustang Cafe. Now that happens to be what the mascot is, what the name is for the school. They're the Mustangs. So the school across the street. Also right down the street, right next to the high school, is the brand new middle school. So it's a great plan. I mean, it's a perfect spot to do something like that. Well, so they moved in, they were renting the property from, they were buying the property from me. I was holding the financing on it. And then they went through the process of getting their engineering drawings done, their architectural drawings done, and rezoning the property. So they went through it for me to rezone this property. It'll come back up in a second here. But they went through, just leave it. They went through the process to rezone the property and all. So now it went from residential to I think it was B2 is what this one went to, which is a really, really high level of commercial. They borrowed some money from a builder they were going to have build their restaurant on this property. So he lent them a little bit of money as a private loan to do some of the things that they were doing to try to get prepared for this whole project. Well, they came to me and said, Joe, now it's time for us to take the garage off. We got to get the garage out of the way, and we got to get the mobile home out of the way. And they had gone to a few different conventional lenders who would not lend them the money. Their credit wasn't good enough, and I guess their business plan wasn't good enough. Well, I don't really care about all that stuff. So then they went to a regular hard money lender and had the loan all set up with a hard money lender. So I didn't triple check who the hard money lender was and that it was really and truly in place for them to get started. So they asked me if we could go ahead and sell off the mobile home, and I allowed them to do that, and I had them split it with me what they received on the mobile home itself, and I think it was like $7,000 or something like that. Well, down the road, the hard money loan fell through. It really wasn't as solidly in place. It was in place. I mean, all the communication, everything, the hard money lender was fine with the whole deal, but it wasn't a guarantee that that check was going to be written. So then they got to the point where they didn't want to own the property anymore, so they gave it back to me. So I had two choices. I could go through foreclosure or just allow them to sign it back over to me, because this was a seller finance deal. Well, when we checked the title work on it, and lo and behold, there's the lien on it for the work that they had done. The engineering, architect drawings was like $30-some thousand. And that's when we found out about the $15,000 private loan by the builder on there. So the only way to get those off of there, remember, I'm in first position, so I can foreclose on it and wipe off all the debt that's on the property. So that's no big deal, and that runs about $1,200. But what I decided to do first was I contacted the engineering firm who did the architectural drawings and engineering drawings. Engineering is for the property and everything that you're going to do, parking lot, the footprint of the building, that kind of stuff, the entranceways, all that. And then the architectural drawing is for the actual building itself, how it's going to be built, designed, all that kind of stuff. So I went to that firm first and I said, look, you guys can get this property and get it for the same deal they had, and then y'all develop it and maybe put the property up, put whatever it is that you build there, a restaurant or what have you, up there for sale. That way you can recoup your funds that you're going to lose from this property when I foreclose. They decided not to, so then I contacted the builder and told him the same thing. He decided not to. So my last resort was to foreclose on the property, to take it back over, and that wiped off all their debt against that property. Now the debt is still following the individuals who did this to start off with, but it's not attached to my property anymore, which is all I'm interested in. Where my mistake is allowing the mobile home to be taken off the property before I was absolutely positive that the loan was in place to pay me off for that land. By the way, the lender was going to provide the funds to pay off the land and then do it in a draw system while they built their restaurant. So everything was fine, it was great, but I didn't verify that the lender, the money was actually already there. There was no more applying to make sure of. So every day that I drive past that, it just drives me nuts that I allowed the mobile home to go off of it. Now I've made more than what the property cost me a long time ago, but still, every day I drive by. So it's commercial and it's up for sale, but right now it's really hard to find a buyer that will buy a commercial property like that and still have funds to, or a loan to be able to improve the property to put it to its highest and best use. What can be done with this property is easy. They can put, someone can come in, put a simple little store there as a portable building. You can pick up portable buildings for somewhere between $3,000 and $6,000 a piece. You can put 1 to 3 portable buildings connected together, have a nice little store set up right there, and your customers are right across the street, the students. There's all different kinds of things that are interested in computers, phones, the accessories for all that, music. There's musical instruments. There's a lot of bands in that school. I think that school's got like 7 or 8 different bands, and there's a lot of different schools around. Band is a really big deal here with lots of people in the band. So musical instruments could be sold and serviced right there. A person could lease out musical instruments, have them on hand, and rent them out to parents who are trying to figure out whether their kids are really going to want to be a trumpet player, you know, for years. And so they can rent one for a short period of time until they're sure, and then buy one when they're sure that the kids are going to stick with it. But anyway, it just frustrates me to know that I had a $900 and some a month income when the trailer was there. Without the trailer there, there's no income at all. It's just sitting there not being used, and that bugs me. The other thing is that I don't have time to focus on it. I obviously could build something there and do something with it. I got so many irons in the fire that right now it's just going to sit there like it is. We have a few people that inquire about it, kind of interested, but they don't follow through because, again, they don't know where to get the funds to do the rest of the work on it. Okay?